So yesterday I went down the rabbit hole of Dark Horse Comics, and today I want to talk about Dark Horse Entertainment. It's the entertainment branch of the Dark Horse Comics company, and they brought to life a lot of things that I completely forgot that they had anything to do with. And some of these things really do predate Marvel, even though Marvel's Iron Man in 2008 was solely made by Marvel production, and I don't think that Dark Horse Entertainment has quite gotten there yet. So everything they've done has been in collaboration with other companies, and nothing has been completely done by Dark Horse Entertainment. But once again, going back to the point I made yesterday of like, Dark Horse is a comic that has delved into a lot of these things and remembers in the end that they're storytellers, that they're comic book makers, and so they don't abdicate the quality of the comics in order to make more movies. But I have a comprehensive list here of things that they've made and been a part of, and I kind of want to go through it because, like I said, some of this stuff actually surprised me. I didn't realize they had so much going on. And then there's other projects that they worked on that I guess fell through that are also documented here, and so let's go through it. And this is a Dark Horse Entertainment IMDb's page. So we have The Umbrella Academy, Resident Alien, I didn't realize was part of what they were doing. Polar's another thing that's based on their comics. The Mask, I forgot completely that The Mask was a Dark Horse Comics character. Jim Carrey's run as The Mask obviously was a really big deal when I was growing up. That's just tight. The Legend of Tarzan, Dark Horse Entertainment worked on that. I wonder if that's based on some of their comics. 30 Days of Night, Hellboy, the other Hellboy. The Rocketeer is a very interesting one because I love that Rocketeer movie a lot. And as I got older, I realized that it was a comic book, but I could have sworn that was a DC comic. So that's something that I'm gonna look into to see kind of how did Dark Horse Entertainment get involved in that. Am I mistaken? Was that a Dark Horse comic, but I just thought it was DC? Not sure, but I remember seeing the comic book and seeing the coloring on it and being like, holy shit, this is tight. Mystery Men by Bob Burden. I mentioned that yesterday. R.I.P.D. I didn't realize that was a Dark Horse comic as well, or that Dark Horse Entertainment had anything to do with it. The Score, Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, Hellboy 2, American Splendor, Amphibia, Time Cop. I didn't realize Time Cop was also a Dark Horse comic, but when I seen it in the IMDb page, I had to check, and it was a 3-issue run on Dark Horse Comics. Son of the Mask, Barbed Wire, another comic that I completely forgot about, and I forgot about this movie for many reasons. That movie was trash, but nonetheless, definitely of its time. 30 Days of Night, Dark Days, Pathfinder, got animated movie Hellboys, Virus, Chicken Hair and the Hamster of Darkness, which is something that's coming out or just came out. Something that they're working on that doesn't look like it fell through was called The Black Kaiser. Known as the world's most lethal hitman, uncovers a deadly conspiracy protecting a powerful syndicate of killers and becomes their #1 target. Dr. Giggles, Coyote, Duckman, The Mask animated show. My Name is Bruce is something they produced with Bruce Campbell. Time Cop the show. Samurai Rabbit the Usagi Chronicles. It says it's on Netflix. I didn't realize that was on Netflix, so it's something I'm gonna watch ASAP. Blade of the Immortal. It looks like they're working on a Grendel TV series that didn't pan through. It's too bad. They worked on something called The Duke. Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot. Tight. Lady Killer. That's a funny and interesting one because I like the Lady Killer comics. I got the first 2 runs of it, and I could have sworn there was a Katie Holmes movie that resembled Lady Killer, and I bet you there's a deeper story there of maybe they were working in collaboration and somewhere along the lines they kind of fell apart, because the Lady Killer comics definitely had a different angle than the psychopath serial killer kind of angle that the movie ended up going with. You got Fat Dog Mendoza, Bang, Stay Frosty, more Hellboy animated movies, Driftwood, G-Man from Hell. You got Eyes to Heaven, Splinter, Emily the Strange, which doesn't have a date, so I'm wondering if that's ever come out. Hellboy 2, the Alien Saga, it's a documentary, and obviously they, talk to Dark Horse Comics because a lot of Alien, like the resurgence of like the Aliens franchise, a lot of that was kept alive through the comics. Serenity is the same thing. Terminator is the same thing. Like I was saying, like a lot of these franchises were kind of dying off or like they were able to fix certain problems with the story that the movies kind of didn't fix ever in itself. But like it was really cool to see that. Let's see, what else do they got in here that catches our eyes? Neil Gaiman live at the Aladdin. I don't know what the fuck that is. At the Aladdin Theater in Portland, Oregon, author Neil Gaiman reads several of his short stories during a stop on his 2000 Last Angel tour. Let's see, anything else catch our eyes? Comics, beyond the comic book pages. I've seen that. Was Time Cop the movie based on a comic book?
According to Wikipedia, Time Cop was originally published as a 3-part story, Time Cop, A Man Out of Time, in the anthology comic Dark Horse Comics, and spawned the successful film Time Cop.
But alright guys, that's all I want to do with you guys today, man. I really want to just sit down and look through fucking Dark Horse Comics, Dark Horse Entertainment, dare I say, filmography, to show you guys that like this is a publishing company that is kind of following that model, but they're doing it in a very different way, in the sense of they're not allowing that to overshadow what they do with the comics. It's not necessarily everything in service of the movies, which makes probably more money than the comics, because if you get a really good movie, you know, you're talking about millions, whereas if you get a really good comic book that does really well, you might be talking about like 100,000, you know what I mean? And like there's a difference, but like going back to that point, Dark Horse Comics knows kind of what they're up to, and what they're up to is to make comic books that matter. So, you know, definitely, once again, can't say enough good things about Dark Horse Comics. Buy a Dark Horse comic or two if you guys get the chance, alright? Beyond that, you guys, there will be a link in the show notes to our Big Cartel shop where you can get a single issue, if not a whole bunch of different Feral comics. Alright, that's the comic book Z anthology that I publish. Alright, you guys, beyond that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.